Welcome to Beer Money Pulling Team. Sit down, shut up, and hang on.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. We're 6 days away from the start of National Farm Machinery Show next week. And we decided to go back to the Pro Stocks because whenever all of this started, Wyatt and I, we were not part of this yet. So we wanted a shot to do this before Farm Machinery Show next week. Cannot wait to get there. Wyatt and I are going to be there together. And Charles, you'll be joining us in some shape or form whenever we get to it. But how was doing the rankings this week? Obviously, we don't have a guest because everybody's getting ready for Farm Show. They're either scrambling the last second or just putting on the finishing touches. But how was everything for you guys this week?
Pretty solid. I'd say this is one. I wouldn't say it's easier, but national names, it's pretty easy to get a top 10 with how big these guys really are. They get around, like the NTPA guys, they get around a lot, having 20 plus hooks. And PPL guys, Mastersons and Simons, and Robbie Russell, they're right up there too. So it was pretty easy to get names. It's just where do I put them?
Right.
And I had already done this once before, and it was actually the inaugural show for this series. And it was probably the one I took the most criticism over for what I came up with for an initial top 10. Part of that was genuine belief that they belonged in the order that they did, but also a bit of it was a little bit of twisting people to see what the show might be or what it might become. Since that show, though, it was done after the end of the season, and now Pro Stocks have not run anywhere. They haven't hooked. So we are going to show you what I had done with that first show, and then see where we wind up at today as we hit into Farm Show week. And when this deal started, Jason was all about it. He's, I'll do them with you. We're going to do them together, and we'll kind of bounce off each other. And then that first week Pro Stock, he's got no list of just instant bus tracks for me, but it's all right. I can take it.
Yeah. I think whenever this first started, you were on the Mini Rod show right after that, and then I came on for the Diesel Supers. I remember whenever this first started, how bad both we wanted to be a part of this, and how I think we kind of came up with our own list similar, like right after the show we did together just for fun. But I would say based off the few classes, like you talk about your hot farms and your light limiteds and all this, you have a lot more to pick from, I feel like, because I feel like we've all seen these guys a lot more.
Yeah. For Pullers Championship, I think our master list of Pro Stocks, it's at like 90 names or more of tractors. Yeah. And there's more coming. There's more being built.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
There are plenty of them. As you guys can see down there at the bottom of the screen, we are leading off with our Farm Machinery Show announcement. We've kind of teased this over the last, 3-4 weeks at least. I've kind of been dropping subtle hints where I can, but as I said before, Wyatt and I are going to be at the Farm Machinery Show together. Charles, you're not going to be able to join us there, but we all talked to Jason, and we are going to continue ranking next week, but it will be every single day from the Farm Machinery Show. This year, we will not be physically at the Farm Machinery Show doing these rankings. We hope in the years to come that we do. Get to do them live and have everyone join us and kind of bounce off of us, join in with us on conversation and everything. But Wyatt and I will be going live. And Charles, I think you said you're going to join in with us too, right?
I will be able to, yeah.
Yep. 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is the time zone for Farm Show. So it'll be 4 o'clock Central. And then from there, you have to figure it out what time it'll be for wherever you're at. But we're going to do it there. we hope it'll take 30, 45 minutes because it's still going to give us time to get over to the show before the poll starts. So 5 o'clock is when everybody kind of starts winding down and getting ready to go to the poll, kind of your pre-show, if you will. But we are really looking forward to that, and hopefully it goes well.
Yep. And do we want to like give what we're gonna do or how we're gonna do this? Or
yeah,
I can go.
We might as well because it's a lot of work.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
I can like kind of reiterate what we're trying to say. So what our plan is, we will start this on Tuesday night because I will be traveling on Wednesday morning. Tuesday night after the Outlaw show, we will break Wednesday night showdown only. And then every day from there on out, we will break down each show individually. We do not go Wednesday night versus Thursday night. We go Wednesday night show only. And we'll do every class of that night. And each of us we'll do this on our own. Make a list, and then we're going to make a consensus poll, which will be one big poll. And that will be how we rank them based on what session they pull in. So that'll just be that session alone, no one else compared.
Yeah. And we really hope you guys show some love to this because if I understood right, we're supposed to be looking for places to do this live next year in front of everybody, which I'm totally cool with. I'm really excited for it, get the interaction and everything. But yeah, the consensus, that's what we're doing after the show tonight. So this show might be a smidge shorter compared to others. You guys see, we obviously don't have a guest. So with that being said, are you guys ready?
I am ready. Probably first caveat that will apply to this show is the same one that applied to when we did Pro Stock the last time. 5-0s didn't exist yet then, so we didn't consider them for it. And we did not really look at Outlaw Pros either. Not a heads up for Champions Tour or Grand National, or really even NTPA region as it existed at that time. So still applies now.
I totally agree, as it should.
Okay. Actually, before I throw this up there, do you want to do we can do honorable mentions?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't recall what mine were, to be honest with you, back then, and I really didn't redo that piece of it because I did put in the effort to kind of go back and revisit what I'd done 4 months ago, I should say. So I guess I left that part off, so I'll throw it to you two on that part.
All right. You want me to go first, Bob?
Nope.
All right. My honorable mentions, I'm going right down to Tennessee and the Couch family. Don't run the big circuit all the time. They've really been favoring ITPA here over the last season or two, and I really think that boils down to travel sakes. But whenever they show up on the ITPA side, they're right there with Schnitker, and they beat Schnitker too. With Schnitker being mentioned, that's my second one.
Yeah.
Not full-time runners. And don't know what the future holds. I've heard certain things, but I kind of hope they stay with the big pros. And then for my third honorable mention, we're going to go up to Pennsylvania with the Hoyt family. They are competing at farm shows, so you will see them first in the Pro Stock class. They will be on Tuesday night whenever we go live after Outlawed. And then Schromick family, Youngblood, they fought demons all year long. I think if you ask them, they will definitely say that. Spontaneous Combustion of OSTPA, your OSTPA points champ. Would love to put him in the top 10, probably as a top 10 tractor, but until we see it, I can't put him any higher yet. Revelation Pro, he did really well at Bowling Green. Just depends on who drives it. You never know who's going to be driving it. Never shows up to the event. You really and truly don't have a clue. Brandon Coates, Fueling the Fire. He was your runner-up in Badger State points, and then Green with Envy. Came into the season late and started off strong. Hopefully continues it into 2023.
Don't hate any of those. I think a few of those were ones I would have mentioned, in the past, and I agree with all of them. No problem there.
I remember the one that my head blew off my shoulders on the first show y'all did was whenever you said Schnitker wasn't in the top 10. I was shocked, but now look at me. He's on my honorable mentions too.
Yep. I had some of the same.
I feel bad actually about that too, because in Schnicker's shop, there is a poster that is like 10 feet long and 5 feet tall of Meltdown, and it's my photo on it. So
Dang.
Irony.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Wyatt, who you got?
Like you said, Rodney Schnicker in the meltdown, many ITPA wins. He played with Brandon Simon. Brandon came down to Waterloo and played and just barely got Rodney, and he hangs with them. Revelation Pro had 1 win on the season. Like you said, drivers, they got a lot of drivers, Wildmans, Link, Lemke.
Or Lemke.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the other Lemke.
Yep. Jack Mays in the billet binder, not quite the year they're accustomed to, but they will figure it out knowing them.
Yep.
He's a high cotton. He started off the year kind of rough, had trouble with Chapel Hill, but at the very end of the year, it ended up really strong, really good showing. He shied, really good couple wins on ITPA, and it's picking up. Stampede, Badger State champion, only missed the top three times on the Badger State season out of 17 hooks. New Generation Plus, 1 win at TPC. Lemke's a stake in that pro stock. Class having how many blocks in the Badger State run a Lemke block. And for my final one, Industrial Force of Jason Rowan. It started off the year really good in Macville with a win. Won Shipshawana NCPA Nationals 2. Broke, had trouble in the middle of the year. End of the year pretty good. Winning Monroe with a bunch of guys there like Lemke and Wildmans. And good showing at Wagler's 10K shootout too.
I don't hate them. There's a couple on there I just flat out forgot to throw on mine that I meant to.
So, yep.
Not a problem with any of them.
No.
Okay. Here we go. That is the 10 that I proposed back on October 4th. Now let's see what happens here on February 9th to this list. And I guess because I had done it originally, I'm going to be the one to go first and try to defend and or change whatever I did in the past. So at number 10, I had the bootlegger in the hands of Rounds. At the end of the season, I saw the tractor in their hands a handful of times, ran extremely well. And, the points maybe won't tell you the whole story of what I was seeing out of this tractor, but I felt it belonged just on the very bottom of the top 10 list. And until I see it again and it does worse or better, see no reason to change this. Leaving the bootlegger at number 10.
That's absolutely fair. That shoots us over to my number 10, and that's where I have Stampede. Wyatt, like you said, only finished outside the top three times out of 17 hooks.
Yep.
And based off what you told me, he's running it fairly easily because I have to run 17 times. I don't blame him one bit. I would love to see what it does turned up, and I'll go ahead and tell everybody now, whenever it comes to Farm Show, I know we haven't made our consensus or anything like that yet. He's up there for me for Saturday afternoon.
Fair. My number 10, kind of low, I would say, but stats for the other 9 I have kind of showed this one out a little bit. I went with Loud and Loaded of Brandon Simon. 2 wins on the season, many top 5s. The other tractor that they had kind of showed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
No problem with that. Okay, number 9. That's where I had Green with Envy, Denny Brown. It's one of the sharpest sounding tracks. It just sounds crisp, making power, runs good. Denny's a good driver. But within the last 5 to 7 days, and leave it to Facebook, I could not find it again. I saw it briefly. I don't know if it was a tease, trial balloon post or what. Saw it posted for sale. Still with the partial paint job. I don't know. So kind of gives me a cause for concern there about what the future of this one is. So it's not in the list anymore. So enter billet binder. And Stuart Mays and Jack and what they did on PPL Tour. And why you said you were in honor mentions, not quite a stellar year for them, but they're the kind of guys that are going to certainly figure it out, and they've got enough years with the thing to know what it's going to want. So that's going to be the first change out in my 10.
Yep. My number 9, I'm going to a Minneapolis Moline Extra Butter. No Grand National wins, but 5 top 5s and 10 top 10s whenever he showed up on the Grand National Tour. He kind of bounced around like a pinball, running a little bit of everywhere this summer, it seemed like, with OSTPA and PPL both and NTPA.
Don't hate it. He also showed up on the state level a couple of times from what I've seen, but always a tough runner. My number 9, I went with Jason Rowan, the bootlegger. He had 4 wins on the season when he had it. Knowing its history of Savannah-X had success with it, and so has Jason. Like you said, the points may not show it, but the thing really does run. It competes very well in Badger State, and hopefully the future holds some success for it still when he runs next year on the Badger State circuit.
Yep. Facebook user, let us know who you are, just because. And then Adam came in and said Extra Butter also won at Norwalk, I believe. Yeah, I think
that's true.
I think they won the first session. Don't quote me on that.
Sounds right.
Yeah. All right, rolling up to number 8. I used Extra Butter to kind of do a lot of comparison at the time when we had still had access to the PPL results, and felt that 8th was justified. But now kind of looking back at things, this is not a slam against Yoder. I'm dropping it out of my top 10 because I feel like I really shortchanged another tractor. I had to put Kevin Schmucker and the Get Her Done Deer into my top 10. Wasn't there 4 months ago.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and tell you now that one did not make my top 10. It didn't run as strong as Rampage, but that's a strong tractor nonetheless. That leads into my number 8. That's where I have El Nino, the Case IH 400 out of Kentucky. He got his first Grand National win this summer in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. They kind of ran where they wanted to, and they fought some demons this year, but finished in the top 5 multiple times. And I know the Parrish family very well, growing up with Red and around his dad and everything. I know when they show up, they mean business. They're going to be in the contention. That's
probably the tractor that made the most noise over the offseason, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple that made noise, but that one, with just being completely new and Chaos teasing it had the most attention to it. And that's why I put it at number 8 also, for all the reasons you said. 3 wins and 13 top 5s on it. Had a win at the farm show with its very first pass. And they fought some gremlins here and there, but it still ran really good.
Yeah.
Up to number 7, I had Rob Russell in the Workhorse originally in that spot. He too kind of ran where he wanted to. He didn't really chase points in the 2022 season. But anytime that tractor backs off the trailer, he's a threat to be a winner. Doesn't matter what he did last week. If he didn't show up, he didn't show up. But this week, he might be the guy that takes your lunch money. I see no reason to change this one at all. I'm leaving him right there.
Okay. I don't hate it. For my number 7, I'm going up to Iowa for the Industrial 4s of Jason Rowan. Ran well in Badger State. Had a little trouble, hiccups here and there, but once I got the issue solved, it went back to running just like it should and how it can. And they ended up being 3rd overall at the Polish Championship.
Yep. Charles, I went with the same thing you did for all the same reasons. I went Robbie Russell in the Workhorse. 2 wins on the season. Like you said, Robbie Russell, one of those guys that's going to take your lunch money. You can't take him lightly. Just knows what he's doing.
Correct.
Yep. Rounding out the bottom half for the top 10, originally had the Mac Daddy of Mike Connie sitting there in that slot. And for this go-round, there's another tractor that I also feel like I sort of neglected the first time, and in going back and sort of looking at the record and what the wins were, where they were against who they were. I left a tractor off. I left Mac Nasty out. It was an honorable mention. I shortchanged Mac Nasty. Doesn't mean Mac Daddy's disappearing from this list. It just means the number 6 spot's going to change.
Yep. My number 6 is actually y'all's number 7. That's where I had Workhorse. Didn't run the full NTPA circuit, but did pick up 2 wins on the Grand National Tour. I wish I had access to the PPO results to be able to see if he won any there.
And I honestly don't remember in my original sheet where I had all that written down. As I do on these shows, I tear them up. Yeah, it was confetti.
Okay, to be fair, I don't think any of us saw coming what happened. I don't think any of us saw that coming.
Well, at that time, no, that was not on the radar. October 4th, that was not on the radar.
Man, everything in October, just all of a sudden, everything went out like a light.
November 4th, that's a different story. But October 4th, no, that was not in the wind.
All right.
Like I said before the show off air, I think we're gonna be pretty close on this one. I had Mac Nasty also 3 wins on the season, 10 top 5s. Monster passes were his wins. I know he back-to-back wins at Hutchinson and he won in Brandenburg. Brandenburg, when he stuck it up on the sand pile and came back and did it again, that showed that Mike Connie's here to play.
Yeah. He really set the tone for the year and proved that he was going to be tough right out of the gate at Hutchinson. We were watching him here at home. We said, this is going to be a battle. And it turned out to be just that. But let's go into the – do we want to take a slight break and detour back around to our announcement again?
Can do for the late joiners, sure.
Yeah. So if whoever's just now joining us and everything, if you missed it at the top of the show, me and Wyatt are going to be together at the Farm Machinery Show. We're not going to be live from the farm show itself this time. Hopefully in the next year or two, we can do it live with everybody, can join in with us and kind of bounce off each other. And we have all the cool stuff with it. Charles, you're going to be jumping in with us. But at 5 o'clock Eastern, we will be going live Thursday and Friday and Saturday. We're going to have to work on the time for Saturday because there's a noon session there.
Right.
But we will be live ranking each of the competitors in the class, how we think they're going to stack up across the board. And Wyatt, you want to go over the process we're using again?
Yep. We are not comparing Wednesday night, like pro stocks for say. We're not comparing Wednesday night to Thursday night. We are comparing all of Wednesday nights together. So we make a one top 12, 11, whatever list for each class on a Wednesday night. The next day we will do Thursday night and so on until Saturday afternoon because we can't do Saturday night finals. So it's only that session we will do each day. We will start this on Tuesday night right after the Outlawed show because we will be traveling on Wednesday morning. And then for Thursday, we will do it at 5 o'clock Eastern time on Thursday afternoon. So on as we go through the weekend.
Yep. And everyone that's watching, the more love that you guys show while we're doing it at 5 Eastern, 4 Central, and then whatever other time zone you're on, that's up to you to figure out. The more love you guys show, the more of a chance we have to do it live next year. And believe you me, I want to do this live next year and interact with everybody.
All right, let's crack the top 5.
Be cool. All right, to the top 5 we go. This was one I really got beat up on back in October for where I landed. The Tinker Toy 2022 season was actually a pretty good year for the tractor. Drive-by committee. But for the number 5 spot, it does not get to keep it. Mac Daddy gets a promotion. Number 2, out of the NTPA Grand National side, 2 wins on the year, I believe, actually, whereas Mac Nasty had 3. But Tough Tractor does appear on the state circuit. When time allows, I felt it deserved a promotion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'm going to get the hate that you got back in October thing, 'cause that's where I've got him. Number 5 is Tinker Toy. It's another one of those situations you don't ever know who's going to be driving it. It could be Gentry. It could be Foles. It could be Kevin. You don't ever know.
Yep. And copy that over. That's because that's what I had too. I think River Rat, it showed it up just a little bit in the results, what I've seen throughout the year. But nonetheless, they're always at the top. You can't, putting money on them, I would put money on him if I had to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And just another little preview. We've already done Wednesday night consensus and everything. We did that last week after the show was over. I think everybody will agree with where he's ranked at.
We'll see.
Well, at number 4, there's going to be possibly a little bit of a trend emerging here. Tinker Toy gets promoted. I'm doing that on the strength of the win at Scheid that Kevin had when he drove it. And there were multiple victories for this tractor. No matter who was in the seat, people were able to win with it. So it tells me that those little side shields know how to find their way to the far end of a track. Promotion it is.
Yeah. My number 4, that's where I had the Mack trailer team as a whole. 5 wins on the Grand National and finished second and third in Grand National points. Chasing after Rampage all year long.
Don't hate it. For number 4, I went with specifically Mac Daddy with Julia. 2 wins on the season, 12 top 5s. Performed consistent, was number 2 in the points. Gave Danny a run for his money, but Danny ultimately pulled away.
And Danny is watching tonight, I'm told, and I'm to remind you that they don't make any horsepower. They've just been extremely lucky.
I feel like partially that's just being humble.
No, if you know that family, that's exactly how they are too. They're good people, and we did invite him onto the show. He's tied up tonight. He was one of the invites that we had, so it would have been worth to chat with him. And we do Pro Stock again whenever that's going to be, months from now. He'll get an invite, I'm sure. All right, I was stalling Shane while you got up and did whatever you're doing.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. We go to number 3. Speaking of those guys, hey, that's where Rampage is now, getting the promotion also on this list, up to number 3 now. For our defending Grand National champ, 5 wins on the year, just a pretty solid year. Not a lot to dislike about it.
Well, Wyatt there won our idea that all 3 of us were going to have the same one at number 1. For my number 3, that's where I've got River Rat. Only ran half the year, but when he emerged, it seemed like that tractor was winning every other night at least. That tractor had an absolutely awesome year.
For sure. Now, he won the BG ring, correct, with that tractor?
Yeah, but I don't think Kevin drove it that weekend.
No,
I think it was injury.
I think it was Patrick again. That's why I had him at number 3, BG ring with the River Rat. It won the 10K shootout at the end of the year in Scheid. They won in Hillsboro. That tractor just has been on top whenever they're out with it this season.
He has figured out something with those Mitas tires. I think that's been one of the key things that has went into this year.
Well, up at number 2, Adam's got it right here. It's River Rat getting a promotion as well. Just 4 wins, I think, in a row to close out the year, and a couple of those were absolutely dominant. 10 feet or more over second place. Just, hey, I'm winning this. And, it's some recency bias, but when you're running strong in a power ranking, that propels you. And Kevin and the Rat sure were running hard.
I totally agree. So my number 2, I have the Simon crew at number 2.
As a team?
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't pick between the 2, so I text RJ because I couldn't find anything for PPL, and he literally gave me the breakdown of the whole year for them. As a team, they had 10 wins at least between them all. He said, I can't remember all of the ones that we won. He said that the Loud and Heavy had 6 wins, Loud and Loaded had 4. That's pretty much even kill for both of them. So unload them off the trailer. I'll take either one of them that are there.
Don't hate it. Number 2, I went with just the one that won the title, and I went with Loud and Heavy. Like he said, 6 wins on the season. He won the Waterloo 10K shootout against guys like Rodney Schnicker and Schramix were all down there. So tough competition.
Yep.
Early success, like he won the first 4 on the season for PPL, but who knows how he was stacked up if more guys were there, because that was the time when we were split NGPA versus PPL. So who knows how that was shaken up. But
Yeah.
that's where I've got Brandon and Loud and Heavy.
Yeah, credit to them too for the amount of miles that they traveled this year. They got rained out in Missouri, Toma, Wisconsin weekend. Those two pools always up against each other. They had not left the house yet to go to Missouri. They heard it got rained out, so they took the turn ahead for Toma, Wisconsin, and then loaded up that night and drove down to Missouri for the PPO pool the next day.
They put it on.
Number 1 pro stock in the country.
Here we are at number 1. You'll notice I haven't said anything about Loud and Loaded that was number 2. Well, my understanding is this tractor is no longer in the possession of the Simons or theirs to campaign. I'm not going to say whose it is now. That'll be for the new owner to disclose if they choose to. But with a paradigm shift like that, it's out of the rankings. I can't score it because I don't know what's going to happen with it. So we're going to go to number 1, and I'm sticking with what I had before, Loud and Heavy.
I agree.
No hate at all.
Wyatt, I'm going to go ahead and take a gander that we've got the same one at number 1.
I would say the same thing.
Yep. So, Loud and Heavy, or the Simon team, had more wins cumulative over the year. But, Wyatt, tell me the stat that we've discussed time and time again when they've gone head-to-head.
Well, I'm going to break down Rampage as a whole first. Rampage had 5 regular season Grand National wins, securing the title. He then, at the beginning of the year, won the Mac Trailer Nationals at the end of March and April. And then he won the Inderly at the end of the year. That's 7 wins on the year. And everyone's going, who's number 1, the PPL champ or the NCPA champ? I went with the NCPA champ because of the head-to-head record. Out of 9 hooks they ran against each other, Danny won 6 of them. Brandon won 3 with different tractors. So that, for me, put Rampage at number 1 compared to Brandon at number 2 because of the head-to-head record.
Yep. And yes, we went that deep with the stats on this. Yeah, that was the same reasons. That's where I had him. Saw Mr. Adam Wilson. He said about the only tractor I'd have on my list, not listed here, is King of Deers. I'll be honest, I didn't really know where he ran majority of the year. I don't know if he stuck mainly OSTPA or if he just kind
only OSTPAs. I think where you'll find that one, unless it showed up at BG. I'd have to check.
He ran BG and Sandwich.
Yeah, BG, Sandwich. And he did get second at Farm Show last year. That's something else to consider, too. I know it's 250 feet, but Farm Show dirt's Farm Show dirt.
Yep.
So, Charles, not a lot changed for you.
Nope.
Wyatt, it appears our brains work pretty similar on these.
I think when you go a little bit, I mean, I know we say numbers, but when you go into the numbers of this, I don't know how much you really can argue with it. Based on what we said, like you said, the head-to-head record between our number 1 and 2. Mastersons weren't there at the very beginning of the year for other reasons, but when they showed up, they won. So they're right there in the top 5. And then the same thing with Connie's. Connie's win right against – they run against Schmuckers. They run against Mastersons when they can too. And they showed they can win too. So that's why these numbers are so important. I mean,
Unless, you can't bring stats into tractor pulling because you have to base off who's the most consistent and who wins the most.
Probably
you can't have a stat for that.
Probably the only philosophical difference I have from the two of you is I do put in a recency bias. I mean, if a guy wins 5 times back in June and then falls on his face the rest of the season, even if you win the title based on the strength of that, I'm not going to rank you as high as a guy who wins 3 times at the very end of the year and kicked your ass. I'm just not.
That's why the beginning of the season is so critical for these points races, though, too.
Yep. I mean, we kind of saw the same thing in the mod rankings. I mean, Charles, you had Tommy Owens at number 1 because of the recency. He won everything at the end of the year. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
So, and the guys that we have ranked up top now, I mean, they won they wanted the beginning of the year, but they also want the end of the year. So
They did. No, they did. I'm in tonight's case, not taking anything away from any of these.
No.
I could redo mine 16 times and get 16 different results.
Yeah.
I don't. There's not a one any of you named that I'd say that doesn't belong there. I can't argue with any of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we need to do that more. Be more contentious, even if we don't mean it. Do some TV here.
Oh, I agree.
hey, I don't hate it.
Will you guys do the top 10 events regardless of association?
Yeah, I'm game. That'd be fun. We can really tick some people off.
That'd be kind of cool.
It'd be fun, but I don't feel like it'd be fair at the same time. I've never been to a single outlaw hook.
That's true. I have not either.
I would.
It's
really
hard
like
to be everywhere. Yeah, there might be some kick-ass outlaw stuff, and I don't know, never been to one.
Yeah, I mean,
I would really like to see this is not based off rankings, but the top 10 polls based on attendance for that poll. That'd be interesting.
Somehow I think we could get a hold of enough numbers to make that happen. We might know enough people.
Yeah.
That's something to think about, though.
That'd be interesting. I mean, well, we know Bowling Green's up there. I mean, number one, but
probably.
But it's just.
I don't know. Time out. Do we include Europe in this?
I think even yeah, we could, but I think even they would agree BG's going to still be number one.
My power weekend over there, man. They have a lot of people.
Yep.
I don't know.
Something to think about because obviously, after we're going to have events happening for the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to find classes to carry us through into June to re-rank essentially because we're about out. We're gonna go back and start looking at stuff now. The guys are going to be running again. But yeah, I have no problem with slotting in some shows where we kind of look at outlier lists and make it fun. Yeah, no problem with that.
Yep. I'm really interested to see, I know the guys we ranked on this list. I'm quite curious to see how they rank up against each other in farm show. No, I know it's short track. Still, farm show, you still get the best of the best there. So,
yeah. Rank 3.0 diesel truck tester NFMS? No, sorry. I'm good. There's too many. I can't.
They're not as many as two-wheel drives.
Yeah. But still, we know where all the two-wheel drives are. You have to really dig and claw to find 3.0s.
Yep. So
because if you're not careful, because that means you literally have to go through qualifying sessions and all that fun stuff, and that's
Scheid would tell you a lot.
Yeah, I've got time. I don't have that much time though.
Hey, for anybody watching, drop in the comments. I know we ranked pro stocks. What session are you most excited for this weekend? Not this week, next weekend for farm show. I know I'm really curious to see with LaGrange family coming to play out of Canada. Their two tractors. Yeah. And then Craig Ladwig's debuting the new pro stock. So,
you know what? Let's turn the last few minutes into this. What are we most excited to see for farm show? I know we're probably going to talk more about it on Tuesday. Heck, we've got a little time left.
Me? I've never been to the farm show. I've never been to the farm show. I get to be there the first time, and I'm just excited to be at the farm show.
Man, I cannot wait for you to experience farm show. Adam says Duel of the Fuels.
That's going to be one.
Okay, so here's something interesting. I looked at the forecast today. It says next Friday it is supposed to be, let me look again. I had it pulled up earlier. It's supposed to be 38 degrees right now for next Friday.
All I can say is it's warmer. That's warmer than here right now. So
I think we could very well be looking at another all diesel possibly. You never know.
No.
I'm not going to make that call already.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys who've kind of rebuilt, reconfigured for that class. I think there's at least half the guys with brand new power plants in the tractor for next Friday night. So who's going to do well, who's not? It will be interesting. That's probably one thing I'm looking forward to seeing. I'll agree with that one.
Yeah. Adam says, how's the green diesel super stock do? Adam, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Wyatt, he's from your area.
We're talking about Hubman, correct?
Yeah.
from personally, I don't know how it's going to stack up because it is one of those older historic tractors that's been in diesel super stock category for a long time. So
Yeah, very long.
I haven't gotten to see it run against some national guys in a long time. Hasn't been a Toma in years, so I don't really know how he stacks up.
Hopefully, new 2023 farm technology. Morgan, I hate to tell you, buddy, that's coming whether anybody likes it or not. Just take it from my perspective on that one.
There's
Mr. Weber.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead, bud.
So there's some farm show rookies that I'm kind of curious to see
Me too.
if they can figure out the building and overcome the butterflies in the stomach and do something there.
I will tell you the rookie that I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on this for farm show is going to be Ashelman.
Yeah, he's one of those that's in that conversation. Yep.
Yeah, I talked to. Oh yeah, I went to Murfreesboro last weekend. I totally forgot about it. That was an awesome weekend overall. Superstock class was a lot of fun. Everybody carried it to the sand pile pretty much in that class. The Alkies did dominate that night. Mr. Martin Daniel won, and then Mr. Larry Phillips, I think, won a night. Light limited supers killed it as always there. And 9,500-pound hot farms. We ended the weekend with a bang. Mr. Bomber, he drove on top of the sand pile pretty much to win the class, and then he was fairly early, and then everybody else chased him, and they just couldn't go up as high, I guess you could say. But that was a lot of fun. Mr. Tony Weber was there. I see he's watching. He was first hook Saturday morning, first one out of the whole bunch. He dropped it, came back, and got fourth place and made it into the finals. He was really pleased with that. Tech Talk, and you have the Thomas IH on your wall, yes. Yeah, Adam, so I've actually got a little bit of a story about that poster. As far as I've been told about this poster, there's only 4 of them that exist. There's one in I think there's 2 in Wisconsin. There's one over in Europe, and the other one's hanging right here on my wall. That's as far as I know. There may be a 5th one, but that's all I know about that.
So back to farm show, I guess some of the stories, I'm just looking through like the entries in that and looking for names that jump out at me for one particular reason or not. Be kind of curious to see when Warpath backs out of the trailer, what's really under the hood. If you didn't see that, there was some TikTok foolishness about a John Deere getting installed in the tractor. No, unless you're part of the team, we don't really know what's going to be there.
If anybody's watching, you can tell us if you want to.
And the teammate tractor, then, of course, we found out this afternoon the Linders are going to be out.
Yeah.
They found some engine problems. They're just not going to be able to fix that. So when the Pick the Winners contest start flying, the beer money one, I suppose, will go live on Monday night. It'll be open until sometime Wednesday. You can look for that. Don't pick Linders for Thursday night. Won't be there.
Yeah, I think that kind of screwed up my ranking too, because I think I had them maybe mid-pack.
We'll just have to just pull them from the rankings. So
yeah,
we'll just have to.
Morgan, how long does it take to get through the farm show?
How much do you want to see? I mean, you can walk every aisle in one day, but you're not going to talk to anybody.
Nope.
I
will tell you the most busy wing I think there is out of that whole bunch is the north and south wings, because that's where the John Deere booths are, the Massey Fergusons, the New Hollands, Fendt, Gleaner, Krone, Kubota, Bush Hog. That's where all that stuff is there.
Yes.
This going back to farm show, I think the most for myself I think the most interesting pro stock session out of them all, I think, is Saturday afternoon. So we got Carlton Cope, who we don't know, or we don't know what it is in there. We've got Jameson LaGrange coming out of Canada with High Rolling Deer. That's the old CP Dream 2 tractor. So I don't know if he's ever run in America. Blaine Stam, I want to see how he runs against these guys. And also Michael Boyd running Loud and Heavy X. That's also very interesting to me. So I'm going to pay attention to that session a lot.
I'm not going to lie. That's kind of got me really excited. Boyd's they were green, and I love Trent more than them because he had the billet binder whenever I was growing up. But the Boyd family, I'm good friends with Austin, and to see at least the Boyd's back in pulling in some shape or form, even if it's for just one day. It's awesome. I'll be curious to see how Simon Says does in the modified.
There's going to be some stories that weekend. We may not think so, but there's going to be some stories.
That tractor and the driver have both been across that building, but not together.
Nope.
Right. And you all will know which tractor it is, too.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what the wild card factor is going to be this weekend.
Oh, who's going to have that one run where you go, man, where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's going to be whenever the track's going away and everybody's kind of starting to struggle, and all of a sudden somebody finds something different.
Yeah.
I think we see it in the two-wheel drive class. I'll be 1,000% honest. I think that's where we see it.
I think it might come in the light pro stock, actually, because that light pro stock is a toss-up to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go with you on that one, and I think I could even give you a name or two. I'm not going to, but
I know who you're thinking is because we saw him run in January. I know exactly what you're talking about.
We'll just have to see on the next week ranking show. That's all we got to say.
Oh. Yeah. So, everyone, that's going to do it for us tonight. Before everyone jumps off here, remember, next Tuesday night, right after Outlawed, we are here previewing Wednesday night. That's going to be Super Farms, full drives, modifieds, which us doing modifieds last week, what did it take us? Half an hour just to do modifieds last week because we were all over the place. And then we've got pro stocks that night. So next Tuesday night after Outlawed, I think that's going to end up being 8 o'clock Central. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Outlaw starts at 7. We will be on at 8 o'clock or whenever Outlawed ends.
Yeah, as soon as Outlawed's over, we are on here. All three of us will be on here. And then Thursday afternoon, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 Central, we will be live to preview Thursday night. That's going to be your limited pro stocks, your super farms, your two-wheel drives, and pro stocks, right?
Sounds
right.
On that?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah. And then we'll carry that on out. And then we got to talk about the Saturday afternoon time. I haven't figured that one out yet. I kind of forgot about that.
Yes, this is true. We are going to keep an eye out on it because
we know.
We know what's coming.
Yeah, we know.
So anyway,
but journalists never reveal their secrets either.
Anyway.
All right, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It was a lot of fun. Really glad me and Wyatt got to do these rankings. Charles, you didn't change up too much, but we will see everyone right back here Tuesday night. Do not forget. See y'all then.